Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Let's take a look at what we're discussing. First of all, we'd like to highlight that Pakistan versus Zimbabwe series is still on the cards. Two T20s to go now. Pakistan has won the first one convincingly. They've been absolutely brilliant. They were clinical. They won by a good margin. And although I think they were about 10-15 runs short, but it was a remarkable batting performance. This is what happens when you look at a new energy, a new side. Apart from the skipper, stand-in skipper, of course, Salman Ali Agha, every batter played with a strike rate of more than 120. And I think that's the real difference. And if you look at Tayyip Tahir and also Irfan Niazi, they played with a strike rate of above 150. And that's despite 5 overs going to waste. This is why Pakistan probably posted a target which is above the 155 average total at this ground for T20 internationals. But they won it. The bowlers amongst the wickets, 3 wickets each for the 2 spinners. And then, of course, Haris Rauf taking 2 wickets. And, of course, then we move on to our second topic, where Haris Rauf has now become the leading T20 international wicket taker for Pakistan. Absolutely superb journey for him now. He's amongst the greats now. This list is particularly dominated by spinners. Umar Gul at the bottom of the table as well, the only fast bowler apart from Haris. But then again, you find Saeed Ajmal, Shahid Afridi and also Shadab Khan in that list as well. But it's been a remarkable improvement for Haris in the past 1 year. So we'll talk about that in detail as well, because like I said, it's very important to realize that if you have time off from cricket, how you're recollecting yourself. So I think we'll talk about that as well. Then of course we move on. We discuss the ICC Champions Trophy. Uncertainty still prevails. No decision has been taken so far despite a couple of meetings. Today and tomorrow we can't expect anything because of a public holiday in the UAE considering their national day. So obviously I think Wednesday onwards we'll know where things are going. There are talks of a hybrid model. India is still not accepting anything. Jay Shah has taken over the chairmanship of the ICC. So we'll talk about that in detail. Then of course we move on to the second segment of our show as well. We talk about technology that has continued to shape cricket's global appeal, how technological advancement has helped cricket and at the same time has initiated a huge debate as well. So we'll talk about that and move on to the new culture of AI, how that could be beneficial for cricket at the same time as well. That will be in the second segment of the show as well. To introduce our guest for the first segment, joining us in studios is cricket commentator, international broadcaster, presenter and our sports expert K. Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, how are you, sir?
Wa alaikum assalam, I'm doing well, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We've also been joined by sports expert Malik Usman Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, how are you, sir?
Wa alaikum assalam, I'm doing well.
Thank you for joining us. Now regarding the first T20 international, let's take a look at a report and then we come back.
Pakistan beat Zimbabwe by 57 runs in the first T20 international of 3-match series at Bulawayo. Batting first, Pakistan scored 165 runs for the loss of 4 wickets in allotted 20 overs. Pakistani openers Umar bin Yusuf and Saim Ayub started the innings, but the partnership was short-lived as Umar was dismissed for 16. Saim Ayub followed, scoring 24 runs, with Pakistan losing their second wicket at 57. Usman Khan contributed 39 and skipper Salman Ali Agha added 13 runs. Tayyip Tahir 39 and Irfan Khan 27 remained unbeaten, helping Pakistan post a competitive total. In reply, Zimbabwe were all out at 108 runs in 16 overs. Marumani added 33 runs and captain Skandar Raza made 39 runs. Pakistan's Sufyan Mukim and Abrar Ahmed took 3 wickets each. Tayyip Tahir named player of the match. The second T20 international between Pakistan and Zimbabwe will be played on December 3rd.
There you have it, all you need to know about the match details in this report. Asif, a clinical finish for Pakistan. And finally, I think this new generation of cricketers is now on display with their talent.
Well, congratulations. The way these youngsters have started very well. And I must say that the way Pakistan team started in the captaincy of Salman Ali Agha, the first time he was skipper in the T20 international. I think that these young lads, they performed really well. Talk about starting from the Umar bin Yusuf. I have seen his cameo. He just made 16 runs, but he was playing fearlessly. He was playing so confidently. Why? Just because he has a very good domestic record. If you see his averaging 42, which is remarkable, and his highest score is 250 in first class cricket. So Ahmed, when you are okay with your basics, And when you're okay with your technique, then you improvise. And this is what he has started. He played so well in the Emerging Asia Cup. This is what we have witnessed. And if you're coming in the middle order, I will talk about Usman. Usman is improving day by day. I have watched him in Champions Cup. He was so good. Behind the stumps, yes, there are some questions. I will ask those questions because, if you're not up to the mark with wicket keeping and you're not okay, then you're playing as a wicket keeping batter. So you must be perfect in both of the departments. And then, of course, Tayyib Tahir, he's the player. He was the player of the match as well. His cameo was remarkable. Absolutely perfect. Irfan was supporting him. As you said that, yes, Pakistan was not up to the mark for 64 deliveries. They didn't score any boundary. But the good thing was that they were stealing singles, which was really good sign for Pakistan cricket team. And then, of course, Pakistani bowlers, after a very long time, I've seen these kind of strategies that you're coming up and you're starting your inning with a spinner. Abrar, again, with the low trajectory, he was so good, and that's why he's good in white ball cricket, because when the batter, they used to go for big shots, and sometimes when you're coming up with the quick deliveries, with the wrong one, and with the straighter deliveries, you create trouble for the batters, and this is what Abrar had done last night. Rest, I'm happy that they've started very well, and good luck for the upcoming game.
Absolutely. Usman, how would you analyze this? Obviously, Pakistan has moved on to a new era now, and a lot of young talent has been on display, but it's been a great finish for Pakistan in T20 cricket.
First and foremost, I have to give some credit to this new team that has come as selectors and everything, because they don't have any pressure whatsoever right now. But I just think that they are bringing up a couple of good ideas, and the one thing that actually went in their favor was their victory against Australia. But all in all, I do not think they have done anything miraculous so far. But they are trying a couple of things, and let's see how those pan out, because I would like to see that how this DNA is going to work, what DNA they are actually going to bring into this Pakistan side, because 1 or 2 games does not justify what they are trying to do and how successful they have been in this. Having Umair bin Yusuf as an opener, we all know that once Rizwan and Babar are back, this opening slot is going to get disturbed. Having Tayyib Tahir and Irfanullah down the order, I think that is going to be a good mix. But let me tell you that having a swashbuckling players to cut off the innings in the end, that is something that is not always going to happen, and they are not always going to be very successful. So how patient they are going to be with these kind of strategies and how patient they are going to be with the failures of these kind of players is actually going to define how this new so-called era is going to turn up. Secondly, bringing up more and more new players, I don't know what they're going to fetch out from this, because the Champions Trophy is just 90 days away, and it is at the moment happening in Pakistan, and Pakistan would be having a lot of pressure going as a host nation and the defending champion into this tournament, and especially when this tournament is being held in Pakistan. So we have to see what this fresh young blood is going to bring to this Pakistan immediately and in the long run. In the long run, they may happen to be good, but for immediate results, I don't think this is going to fetch too much of a good result for Pakistan side.
Well, if you look at the complete side right now, I understand that Usman, we see Salman Ali Agha as the makeshift skipper, but let's be very honest, I think still looks like a misfit in this T20 international team.
Yes, I think I completely agree with you. I don't think he features in this playing 11 for Pakistan side, the best playing 11. He has been makeshift opener, more importantly to get some international experience as a captain, not because for his heroics in T20 domestically or internationally. I think once the main players are back into the side, I don't see him featuring in the playing 11, but certainly will be in the squad. And learning a couple of things against with all due respect to a weak Zimbabwe side, I think that is an ideal opportunity for him to get some grip of what captaincy is all about in international cricket, because there are a lot of leaders in this Pakistan squad, talking about the players who are not in the squad at the moment, like the Babars, the Shaheens, they all are leaders, but having a skipper officially and having that kind of experience does a wonder for you as an international cricketer and as a captain in international cricket as well.
Asif, what would you like to highlight about Salman Ali Agha? I think very talented cricketer, utility cricketer as well, but that impact in T20 cricket now, surely we've seen a struggle in Australia, and now he's a stand-in skipper. But then again, the bigger question arises after you comment on Salman Ali Agha's inclusion. that if not Salman, if not Rizwan, then who should be Pakistan's T20 skipper?
Well, this is my question to you because you have raised this point. To be honest, that it's premature. I think you guys are talking about his captaincy after one game.
No, not
yes.
captaincy. His inclusion into the team based on the skill that he has. I understand he's a great inclusion to one day and Test cricket, but for T20, not the captaincy, just his inclusion in the T20.
Well, I think Ahmed, I always support to the domestic performers. If you see his domestic performance, if you see his performance in Test cricket, in ODI, yes, I strongly agree with you that he was struggling in Australia. But see, you have announced one thing, that Salman Ali Agha would be the skipper in the absence of Rizwan. So definitely you will stick to your, you will remain stick to your plans, and you cannot change things over the night. Give him some time. Yes, you know, if a player who is okay with his basic technique, I think he could improvise. And we have good examples of Glenn Maxwell and Surya Kumar Yadav. They guys have given them confidence, some time, ample opportunities, and now they are match winners. So I think that if you give some time to Salman Ali Agha, I'm quite sure that you will change your views.
Imagine Tayyib Tahir coming a number above than what he came. Obviously, if Tayyib Tahir or the likes of Irfan or even Asibullah, if he's included and played at his natural number, or Saibzada Farhan, anyone, imagine them coming before Salman Ali Agha if he's in the team. Does it make a difference? Because Tayyib Tahir, there's his stats as well if you talk about his positions. So at number 3 and 4, he's been most successful in T20 cricket, in domestic level.
See, I don't buy this idea, this number game. You know that I always say that if you're getting chance and you have only 10 balls remaining, go not out, play 12, 14 runs for your a little cameo for your team. I think that if you're coming on number 1, number 2, number 3, let me give you an example of a great player, Sachin Tendulkar. Though he didn't play T20 international cricket match, but of course you cannot say that the ODI and Test cricket, they are the basic. And then we have a good example of Adam Gilchrist as well. See, number 5, number 6 in Test cricket and as an opener in ODI cricket. So if you are getting chance in T20 cricket anywhere, the way he has finished last night, this is the...
But you believe in domestic performances?
Really
Those
important.
are also numbers.
Of course, see, Ahmed, if you go to and if you see the domestic cricket...
31 T20 matches for Salman Ali Agha. 18.7 average, 115 strike rate for him.
You're talking about T20, right?
Yes, T20, only T20.
Okay,
only
fine.
T20.
See, I had said earlier that you have given him, you have announced him. You cannot change during the inning.
No, we're talking about the future course for Pakistan.
Of course,
never
see what I'm saying that. Let's suppose in the next coming games, upcoming games, if we'll score well and Pakistan win, then of course that you will change your views. So give them some opportunities, maybe 2-3 games more, or maybe one season or one series more.
A couple of series.
And then you can decide either he's fit for T20 or not. This is my idea.
Absolutely. I think we've got about, one and a half a year until the T20 World Cup. So plenty of time for Pakistan to make these changes. But obviously there are going to be a lot of people eyeing for this T20 side as well. If for the South Africa series, as news have it, that Fakhar is trying to make a comeback in the T20 team, Rizwan's supposed to come back as well. I don't want it to be at the cost of, damaging the confidence of these youngsters. That will be very important. But one hindsight has been Pakistan's bowling performance, which has been very, very impressive. And I think Usman, from a point where we don't have spinners to a point where we finally have spinners, 2 of them won us a Test series against England. 2 of them have been superb in the white ball series in Australia and now in Zimbabwe. What a remarkable achievement for Pakistan.
I think it is all about the DNA that they are going to create. Off late, they just did not understand what they actually wanted to bring out from their bowlers. Sometimes Pakistan is a fast bowling side, sometimes it's a spinning side. What kind of pitches Pakistan were preparing in their home conditions was another issue. But now off late, I think they have realized that their strength probably lies in spinners. And they have a couple of spinners, so-called mystery spinners, that can actually fetch them some wickets against world-class sides, and they sometimes do take pitch out of the equation as well. Talking about the first T20, the pitch was not that bad, and the spinners, how they worked out, this Mukeem and Abrar, they did wonderfully well. But all in all, Pakistan's fast bowling has always been their strength, and if they can bring out a couple of good spinners from these kind of tours, I think it is going to do wonders for their bowling side. All in all, Pakistan is shaping up well as far as the T20 side is concerned. A couple of good hitters in our middle order or lower middle order is going to make up for a fantastic team. So having two good spinners coming out of late is not a good, is not a bad omen by any means to this Pakistan T20 side.
Well, certainly, but if you talk about one remarkable improvement, that has been Haris Rauf. Let's take a look at this report and then we continue.
Haris Rauf has surpassed Shadab Khan to become Pakistan's leading wicket taker in T20 internationals. The 31-year-old pacer achieved this milestone during the first T20 international against Zimbabwe at Queen's Sports Club, Bulawayo. Haris Rauf claimed Brian Burl's wicket on the third ball of the 11th over, finished the match with 2 wickets, bringing his total to 109 wickets in 76 matches, while Shadab Khan has 107 wickets from 104 games. Shaheen Shah Afridi holds third place with 97 wickets from 73 matches, while former all-rounder Shahid Afridi is fourth with 97 wickets from 98 games. Former pacer Umar Gul rounds out the top 5 with 85 wickets in 60 matches. It is worth mentioning that Haris Rauf tied with Shadab Khan as Pakistan's joint leading wicket taker in T20 internationals during this series against Australia last month. The pacer claimed a 4-wicket haul, bringing his T20 international wicket count level with Shadab Khan's. While Shadab Khan has not been included in recent national squads, Haris Rauf has become a regular member of Pakistan's white ball team.
There you have it, all you need to know about Haris Rauf, and congratulations to Haris on achieving this milestone. I think there's been a remarkable improvement in the past 1 year, to a point where we didn't give him a central contract, to a point where he's now the leading T20 international wicket taker. All miracles are happening, but let's be honest, the guys work hard, he's not looked back. Let's be very, very particular that he's focused on cricket only and not any side issues as well. And that's, I think, what defines a player as well. And Asif, I think all of us agree that for the past 1 year, Haris has really worked hard on himself.
Well, Ahmed, as you said that there was a point that Pakistan Cricket Board was thinking that do not give him central contract. And see, I was a huge critic of Haris Rauf after the way he has bowled in T20 World Cup. Everyone was criticizing, but of course, you know, when you're working hard, and now Aqib Javed is there, he is his mentor, he remained with him for a long time in Lahore Qalandars. So definitely now I'm changing my views about Haris Rauf because he's working hard. Good thing is that he has improved his liner length. I do remember that even in the last T20 World Cup in USA, he was bowling wayward deliveries after 3 or 4 deliveries, especially down the leg side. But in Australia series and particularly if I'm talking about ODIs, that his liner length was impressive, and he has bowled brilliantly. And one thing which we have observed in his bowling after a long time, that he's bowling with swing. We didn't observe this kind of swing before. So I think that Aqib Javed is working with him. And once again, if you talk about that, now he is stepping ahead towards a specialist white ball cricketer. This is what I wanted to say about him, because it's a remarkable performance in Australia, in Zimbabwe, of course. So definitely
the length really has improved.
Yes.
I mean, from being a touch short to just being a, you know, almost on that good length area is a remarkable improvement from.
And when you are coming with 145, 146, 150, of course, that you create trouble.
The guy still,
this is what I have heard from
the guy
Nusrat.
lands still a yard before the front crease. If he can land even closer,
Yeah.
I'm guessing he can increase his pace as well. But unfortunately, he still, you know, tumbles 1 or 2 times in every over. So that is also a very dangerous.
But he has
omen
improved
there.
his fitness as well, which is good, because he was suffering a lot right
No
before.
catches dropped in his entire career. Fantastic fielder,
Yeah,
Haris
yeah.
Rauf. But Usman, what a remarkable improvement. And I think you're very comfortable once you realize that now the team management is the same one which found you out of the blues and made you the player that you are today.
Very strange to say a Pakistani player being comfortable with the management. That never happens in Pakistan cricket. Talking about the central contract, that was a massive shock, him not getting a central contract. Whatever the means they deployed, I don't understand how Haris Rauf, a player like Haris Rauf, does not feature in a central contract. That is very unfortunate, and that just tell you about the uncertainties that surrounds the players, the management and the cricket of Pakistan as a whole. Talking about Haris Rauf, generally in the last 1.5 year, I think he has been absolutely brilliant. As far as T20 cricket is concerned, let alone the white ball cricket, including the one day, if you specifically talk about the T20, I think he has been he has always been remarkable, and having a great series in Australia would do wonders for him. It's his second home, playing for Melbourne Stars and being one of the top performance in BBL and one of the star attractions. He is one of those players who are actually placed on billboards as promotion for BBL.
They call him Record Rauf there.
Yeah, he's very, very popular in Australia, and he has never disappointed the crowd, neither his domestic team in BBL. He always performs well, and Australia, he loves those pitches, and of late he has made a very, very good comeback. That tells a lot about his mental strength as well. That is what the DNA that he has regarding the T20 cricket does show that he can improve even more, and he has become the highest wicket taker in Pakistan cricket history.
But Usman, a very simple question,
no doubt about
if you can add to that, why has Haris been so successful? A guy who came from tape ball cricket, just wants to ball fast, he's been so successful, but at the same time we have seen a major slump in form for the likes of Naseem Shah and Shaheen Shah Afridi.
I think one of the major reasons why Haris Rauf has been extremely successful is because of his slow ball. He has a fabulous slow ball, probably the best in the world. Having a pace of 150, 155 and bowling consistent line and lengths once you get into that rhythm, and having that deadly slow ball, I think no one in the world has picked his slower ball until today. So that is one of the reasons why he has been doing wonderfully well. As far as Shaheen Shah Afridi and Naseem Shah are concerned, one of the major reasons between him and those two is the fitness as well. Haris Rauf, when he plays, he's super fit. And that was a major injury in PSL that got him out of the squad. Otherwise, whenever he's in the squad, he's the best fielder in Pakistan side in the outer boundary. He never drops catches, and he has learned a thing or two in BBL as well. If you see him playing in BBL, you find him to be one of the Australians, the way he fields in the outfield, and he's one of the finest bowlers in T20 in the world at the moment, no doubt about that. So that is two major reasons which I think sets him apart from the other faster bowlers in the Pakistan squad.
I was hoping Usman's going to say because he's not focused on captaincy and batting, that's why he's been more successful. But that being said, we've got to discuss the Champions Trophy in detail as well. Development, Asif Ahmed, so far indications are that no decision has been taken. Pakistan Cricket Board, being led by Chairman Pakistan Cricket Board Mohsin Naqvi, has been in contact with various cricket boards. They've held ICC meetings as well, but no conclusion so far has reached. How would you comment on this uncertainty? Because rumors have it that India is still not ready to accept even a hybrid model if that goes in place. Because Pakistan has said if there is a hybrid, then next 2 years or forever, whenever India is playing Pakistan in an ICC tournament, Pakistan is going to play with hybrid as well. We're not going to travel to India.
You should have taken this decision years before. And I was sitting some other platform and I was criticizing on Najam Sethi why he has showed this way to India that we will play the hybrid model in Asia Cup. He should have taken firm stand on that time. But I think Mohsin Naqvi, as I said earlier, day before yesterday, that he is adamant that enough is enough. Now India will have to show some courage, because we won't compromise on our dignity and respect. That comes first. Of course, we are playing cricket, we're talking about cricket, but this is between two nations, India and Pakistan. Pakistan have sacrificed so many times. Pakistan went to India, and now we are coming towards another model which is called fusion or partnership actually, and India is not ready for that, Ahmed. That Pakistan is saying that this model should be for next 3 years, and Pakistan have given their all ideas to ICC. ICC will talk to BCCI. As Mohsin Naqvi, the chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board, he was in Dubai from last 4 days, and last night he came back. I have watched his presser, a short presser in Dubai Cricket Stadium, and he was really confident. He said that I want win-win situation for everyone. I don't want to let down my nation, which was a really good statement from Pakistan, the chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board. The second thing is that let's suppose if the final is happening in Lahore And Ahmed, you have taken a ticket, you have purchased a ticket for the Lahore's game. What will happen if this game?
I expect an air ticket and a visa and accommodation. All three things.
From
Pakistan
ICC?
Cricket Board.
No, from ICC. So now this is a big problem that if I want to watch the final game in Lahore and I bought a ticket and I have my hotel reservation, each and everything, and now the next moment the ICC is giving me the new location that you will watch the final in Dubai. What will happen?
But
I think this is
absolutely. But Usman, since you've been working in the policy framework as well, you have a better understanding of these dimensions now. It's very easy to say that we won't go, but we need a holistic approach to cricket as well.
There are a lot of mistakes that has happened in this whole scenario, and the biggest culprit has to be the ICC. See, once it was decided that this tournament is going to take place in Pakistan in 2025, it was a couple of years back. Many of us knew actually that India is going to create trouble. But for us Pakistanis, we kept quiet because it was not us who was going to take the first step. It was always going to be India. And once they take it, we were always going to be reactive. So whenever this policy making does come into the picture, there are some rules that have been set, and unfortunately ICC has that in their policy, that if the government of the board does not allow you, you can take that decision. That is the most ridiculous element that has been added to the policy. See, if you look at the various other, you take the precedents from other sports, right? Talking about Olympics, there has been an Olympic event. Let me tell you, there were more than 50 countries that boycotted those Olympics, but the Olympics still went ahead. Talking about the previous Olympics, there was no Belarusians, there were no Russians officially, the Olympics went ahead. So sports does go on. Talking about the Blind Cricket World Cup,
yes,
India did not send their team, the Blind Cricket World Cup is going on. So this is how sports has to be. This is how ICC needed to flourish itself, to develop itself, which unfortunately they have not able to do it. They have become hostages to the BCCI. One thing that one needs to understand is, see, if there are profit making elements or revenue generating elements, that is the BCCI. So when it comes to the losses, that is the most amount of losses is going to be suffered by BCCI itself. And if you don't have an India versus Pakistan, which actually fetches you 30 to 40% of the whole revenue of an ICC tournament. So if Pakistan withdraws from that, because we all know that there are two teams that plays India versus Pakistan. One is India, the other is Pakistan.
Certainly.
So if Pakistan skips that match and let them give them a walkover to the Indians, that is going to be a massive loss, not for to the Pakistan, not to the Indians, but the whole members of the ICC. So it is high time that they understand how important Pakistan and the self-respect of Pakistan is to the International Cricket Council.
Absolutely. And I think it's very simple to say there's no cricket without India. Let me be very simple. There's no cricket without Pakistan as well. So I think that cannot happen. And if you, the thing that Usman has categorically mentioned, if you look at these revenue and broadcast rights as well, it's very plain simple that you put it, that, you know, things need to, for example, if I look at a couple of months back, the Indian tennis team was supposed to come to Pakistan and they refused. At that moment, the governing body of world tennis, ITF, the International Tennis Federation, said that if India doesn't come, we're going to award the tie to Pakistan and thank you very much. So I think the role of a governing body, as the ICC is very, very important. But Jay Shah's there. So what's going to happen? That's the case as well. But thank you very much, Asif and Usman, for joining us. Uncertainty still prevails. Only time will tell where things go. And like I said, a couple of days more, and let's just see what happens as well. On that note, we take a short break. Stay tuned. We come right back. Welcome back to Sports Extra. Now we move on to our second segment. It's all about technology, this world. We're in a digital revolution. The world is constantly evolving as well. And we talk about, you know, how technology has come into sports and has clearly changed everything that we knew in the past as well. It's very simple. We can talk about technology that continues to shape up cricket's future as well. And I think a lot of things have been transformed, be it the fitness criteria, the selection policies, the team combinations, how with each passing second, every game has been affected by the use of technology as well. That's what we're discussing. And let me just introduce the guests. We're very honored to be joined in studios by Mr. Abdullah Zubair. Assalamu alaikum, Abdullah. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at this interesting report and then we continue.
cricket is immensely popular worldwide. Over time, technology has continued to generate more interest in these sports. The use of AI software developed in Pakistan is said to bring new innovation to cricket production. Cricket, which became famous in the 18th century, has gradually evolved as it has aged. With the advent of live match broadcast on television, technology has played a fundamental role in gathering data. One such remarkable addition to these technologies is predictive AI, which was developed in Pakistan. Students in Islamabad have created a predictive AI software named Cryo, which provides real-time data and analysis for every shot during a cricket match. This software displays crucial information such as ball speed, height, and shot details as soon as the bowler delivers the ball, offering valuable insights to both fans and players. Cryo enhances the viewing experience for fans and allows players to analyze and correct their mistakes. With existing technologies like Hawkeye, ball tracking, and Hotspot already improving decision making, Cryo will further elevate cricket production. The increasing role of AI in sports promises to take cricket and its broadcast to new heights, setting a new standard for innovation in sports.
There you have it. Sabah gives us a brief in this report as well. Abdullah, how do we define this now? We've just seen the initial phase of it. People have been used to a couple of these technologies that have been used. But when we talk about cryo and the way forward, what does the future have for us?
So specifically for Cryo, what we wanted to do was bring engagement to the viewer, specifically Pakistani viewers and cricket itself. Cryo's initiative isn't just for cricket, it's for every sport possible. We're trying to bring predictive AI to every sport so that the engagement factor of a sport is increased on a certain extent, and using predictive AI with that as well. What specifically Cryo does right now for cricket is that for every ball in real time, it tells the best possible shot. So the viewers that are watching at home can tell specifically what maybe lost the match or maybe even won the match. In senses, we have such a dynamic system where as the match progresses, it changes the shot selection as well. We've come to a point where it's accredited to a sense that we've talked to a lot of cricketers, we've talked to a lot of entertainers, because as first, this is for entertainment purposes only. In that sense, we've found a resounding yes for whatever we're trying to do. And for what we want to do in the future, we're also working with PCB right now, and we're working with other broadcasters as well to bring this to PSL. What our whole aim at the end of the day is to bring engagement to cricket and any sport possible, and as a patriotic incentive for myself, bring it to Pakistan first before any other country.
Well, I understand the cause, and it's all certainly for the entertainment and viewers' perspective as well, because obviously it's a new dimension that we're stepping into. But realistically, what have been some of the challenges that you have faced, and what you see are hurdles when we talk about our dynamics of our region?
So personally, hurdles, if I want to start technically speaking, over here, it's more about the utensils you have to make this sort of technology.
The tools.
I'm at Fast Islamabad, so I have certain technologies that I do have, but I've done this all personally with myself and my CTO. What comes with a region or maybe a mindset sort of difference comes from the fact that are people actually open to something like this? In a lot of cases, people's minds, it's like we're already not really succeeding in many of the other things. Why should we do something like this? What it helps us to say is that any step forward is a step forward. And specifically, it was, for me, hurdles. It took me like 4 to 5 months to actually get a response back from PCB, specifically getting this tech into their minds and into their conversations and into the big players, and especially how cricket is such a close-knit circuit and where only big players work. Students like us have a hard time. For me, what I did was, I'm not a Stanford or MIT student. So what I did to basically deem my credibility in this sector was create the technology first. Our first viable option was to create this. After that, we started marketing it, and then we went to other places. Approval for certain credibility comes from the fact that we were accepted into NIC Peshawar. We were finalists for NIC Islamabad, and we're currently at eye-to-eye scale for their fundraising round as well. We were talking to San Francisco investors, where we got a valuation of around $1 million if this was a baseball startup. You can see how there's so many other places where this can be implemented, where users just want to know what could have happened, and that's what we're trying to give them. There's so many more capabilities we can do, but again, they're all restrictions. Like, for example, I want to add a feature where I would want to tell how a certain player would hit this ball. I can't do that because I don't have the data available. I need to get into that system to get that data. That's one of the restrictions that you get out of this, but then once your steps in the door, you're in then.
But Abdullah, from a perspective of a viewer as well, or a fan, I must ask you, what's the range of accessibility that we will be providing, coupled with this obviously technology as well?
So the basic thing with the best part that we have is everything is real time. As the ball happens, that's when you get the prediction. You can get it through in-review systems as well, or as a small avatar at the bottom right of your screen. Other than that, we're also working on an app that will, as real time, as the predictions happen, upload those predictions to a website of ours. What that will do is that fans can go back and see the sort of predictions that would have maybe changed the whole dynamic of the match, would have maybe changed and pivoted it entirely. And we're trying to do that. Secondly, a lot of issues that happen and a lot of the cost that comes out of technology that happens in cricket is the fact that everybody has to be at the stadium. For us, we're trying to turn this into a remote system. We're trying to sit home and do this over here. That's why in so many cases, technologies like Hawkeye, technologies like SpiderCam, all need people there, and that's why they're so much more expensive. We are such an affordable version just because of the fact that we can have at least 1 or 2 people over there, and later on even have it remote. That is why we're a viable option for places like Pakistan. A lot of cases and a lot of matches sometimes can't even afford the DRS system. That's why we want to bring something that is Pakistani and then forefront, but also bring it to here firstly.
And what's the acceptance level like? Like you mentioned that you're in talks with Pakistan Cricket Board at the moment, and with the PSL season coming up next year, what can we expect now? How soon can we have this in the implementation phase?
So currently, I can't, obviously confidentiality, but I can't really express that much. But I can say this, that once you get into the door, people are open to listen. And all I had to do was that. I have been talking to a lot of people, and people are very, very interested in this sense. We are working with specific broadcasters who do Pakistani cricket, and we're trying to get this run on PSL. It's a contract with them. And specifically, what it helps us do is just get on the board, start running this, and our aim is, at the end of the day, PSL. We might try for Champions Trophy if we can get that first done, but the main goal is PSL and then onwards.
And obviously, we don't want it to be a stale platform. We want it to obviously, evolve and grow with modern times as well, as we are seeing a global evolution of technology and cricket and overall sports as well.
So specifically, what I want to do as an evolution standpoint is that, again, make features for cricket but a lot harder, like a lot bigger. A lot of people have told me to stay to cricket. My whole prerogative here is that personally I don't know much about cricket. I just watched some of the main matches, but for me the whole point was the technicalities. It was to get something to an entertainer. From when I was young, I just wanted to be in the film industry, and from that point, my whole point is to get this into soccer, is to get this into rugby, to get this into baseball. Our next major part is to get this into baseball, because that is the closest that we have over here, and that is where we want to go.
Absolutely. And I understand, I think $1 million says a lot as well, doesn't it? So I think it always helps to grow the technology, and it's probably, I think, a great revolution that we're on board to see as well. But Abdullah, thank you very much for joining us. All the best to you and your team as well. That, of course, wraps up Sports Extra. From me and my entire team, it's goodbye for now.